Hey guys, YouTuber Hunter here. Alright, now here I am with another direct-to-video made-for-TV Christmas movie review. And now, here I am with a review for Richie Rich's Christmas Wish. So, yeah, this is a movie that I actually did watch quite a lot when I was a kid. I mean, yeah, during Christmas time, like, this film would, like, always be, like, shown on TV. Like, it would like, be on, like, Fox Kids and ABC Family, and yeah, it would just be, like, on, like, networks that, like, yeah, just, like, it would be, like, shown on, like, TV during Christmas time a lot when I was a kid. So, yeah, I did watch this film, like, quite a lot during Christmas time growing up. And, yeah, and so, yeah, so yeah, and this film is also, like, of course, it is like a standalone sequel to the Macaulay Culkin Richie Rich movie from 1994. Though, yeah, there really is no like sort of continuation from that film in this film at all. Yeah, this is just like really a very standalone sequel with no sort of connection to the Macaulay Culkin film whatsoever. So, like I said, I did watch this a lot as a kid, and I did like it growing up. So. Yeah, this is probably like one of the like made for TV or direct to video Christmas films that I am like more familiar with, like because it is one that I have watched like a lot more. Like I did watch this film like a lot more than I did like The Ultimate Christmas Present and 'Twas the Night. So yeah, this is a film that I do actually like know like so pretty well. Like I have watched it quite a few times. So yeah, and I did like it. I mean, I did think that the story for this film, overall, like, it was told, uh, well enough. I mean, yeah, the story for this film, it basically is kind of like a similar story to, It's a Wonderful Life, because what this film is about is, in this film, like, Richie Rich, like, he feels responsible for, like, causing something to go wrong, and, yeah, due to, like, just the backlash that he receives from the people over town, and like he makes a wish that like he was never actually born. Like he just like ends up like just saying that he wishes he was never born, and the wish ends up being granted. And then yeah, he ends up being like transported to another world, and yeah, and it is basically just like as if like he was never born, and yeah, he's just like totally unrecognizable. I mean, it's not like he just like is like totally thin air, like nobody can see him. Like he is still like actually a part of the world, like everybody can still see him and everything. Like he still does like he is like visible in the world, like he is still there. But yeah, it's just that people don't like know him as Richie Rich, and yeah, it's like just been totally like history's like been totally changed that he has never actually been Richie Rich. So yeah, I think it is like the story is told like decent enough, I guess. Yeah, and I guess I do like this film like a little bit more than the Macaulay Culkin Richie Rich film. I mean, yeah, because yeah, Macaulay Culkin Richie Rich, I really didn't like watch it very much. I've only like seen it a couple of times, and with this one, I've really like watched it a lot more since I was a kid. So yeah, so I guess I do like this film a little more. Now, was it good? Well, I'm not sure if I can really go that far to say it's good because yeah, there is like stuff about this film that doesn't work. I mean, yeah, it is like kind of cheesy, and yeah, the effects in particular really are not good at all. I mean, yeah, the effects look like pretty embarrassingly bad. I mean, yeah, because yeah, this film was actually done by Saban and Harvey Entertainment, and yeah, Harvey Entertainment was and also did like those two Casper films that were like prequels to the 1995 Casper film. Yeah, like Casper Spirited Beginning and Casper Meets Wendy. And this really does like kind of have like the same feel that those two Casper films did because yeah, the quality for this film basically looks exactly the same, and plus yeah, it even does have like this film does feature like some music that was featured in those two Casper films. So and if you've seen like those two Casper films, like you can like the effects in the film, like the ghost effects, and even like some stuff where it's supposed to be like magic and stuff. Like it's particularly in Casper Meets Wendy with like the witch magic and all that. And yeah, the effects really are like pretty cheap and they really don't look good at all. And that's pretty much the case here too, because yeah, the effects with like a Richie being transported and yeah, just yeah, a lot of like and stuff with like like there's the sequence with like the sled like going out of control. Well, yeah, I mean yeah, just the effects in this film, yeah, they look pretty bad. I mean they do it pretty much does look like a cartoon. So yeah, there's stuff like that that really doesn't work. And plus, yeah, and also like when it comes to like how this film would be targeted. I mean, it is like pretty much like geared to kids. So yeah, I really don't really see like I could see why like adults really wouldn't like this film. Yeah, especially like I mean, yeah, the Richie Rich films, like in particular, like the Macaulay Culkin film and this film, they really are like more geared to kids. So yeah, there probably isn't really anything really to for adults to recommend to adults to watch. But yeah, for kids, I guess like it is just fine. I mean, I think like kids would be like fairly entertained by this film. Yeah, I mean the story in this film, like it's not told as well as It's a Wonderful Life, but yeah, for like a kids film, I think it is told like decently enough. So yeah, and this film does like have like a pretty decent cast to it. Like you really don't have anybody from the Macaulay Culkin film like reprising their roles in this film. Like in this film, Richie Rich is played by David Gallagher. You may know him from Seventh Heaven, yeah, and it also like has stars like Martin Mull, Leslie Ann Warren, or in Jake Richardson. He was the kid that played Mitch in Honey We Shrunk Ourselves, and yeah, he was in this film. Yeah, and it also has like Michelle Trachtenberg, Marla Maples, Eugene Levy. So yeah, so it does have like a decent cast to it. Yeah, and I do think that overall, like David Gallagher does do a pretty good job as Richie Rich. Like I really like can like see more of him like as Richie Rich than I did Macaulay Culkin because yeah, just Macaulay Culkin really was just like, of course he was known for like the two Home Alone films. I really do feel that when like people do watch Macaulay Culkin in other films, I really just think of him in Home Alone. Like regardless if you're watching like films like My Girl or The Good Son or The Page Master, Getting Even with Dad, Richie Rich, yeah, regardless of what ever other Macaulay Culkin film that you're watching, I think that people will always just be thinking of Home Alone when they are watching Macaulay Culkin in movies. So yeah, and that's what was real. I feel is really the main problem with Macaulay Culkin as Richie Rich. Yeah, but with David Gallagher, like he's not real, didn't really have like the fame that Macaulay Culkin did. So yeah, I can think that like can really like see him and really buy more into like Richie Rich than and like I did with Macaulay Culkin. So yeah. And everyone else I think is pretty good. Like Eugene Levy as a Professor Keenbean, I do think that he is pretty good. I mean, he does a good job of like being like the just the genius kind of like wacky sort of scientist. This in the film, yeah, yeah, and also Jake Richardson as Reggie. I think he does pretty good. I mean, yeah, he really does a good job of really like because Reggie in this film, like Richie's cousin, and like he's just like an absolute spoiled brat. And even like when Richie does make the wish that he is never born, yeah, Reggie pretty much just runs roughshod. He pretty much like rules the entire town. Like pretty much it revolves around him. Yeah, just like an absolute spoiled brat. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just yeah, it really makes me just want to punch him right in the face. So yeah, I think Jake Richardson does a really good job of making Reggie just the portraying him as just this absolute, just totally spoiled brat. So, yeah, I think he does really good at that. Yeah, and everybody else in the film, I do think that they do like well enough. I mean, probably no performances from this film that really would like really stand out and aren't like Academy Award material or anything. But yeah, I do think that they do like well enough for like the. For like the story and just yeah how this is written and just yeah with a for like a kiddie film like this, I do think that they do like well enough. So yeah, yeah, and plus also like when you watch this film, like if you have it like on home video or stuff, like if you have it on VHS and DVD, it is like kind of edited because when it is shown on TV, like there are like quite a few extra scenes that are added into this film. There's like just yeah, there's it just seems some scenes that are extended, and there's like an extended ending to the film. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, I remember like I did like watch this film like quite a lot as a kid. So yeah, I did like watch like all these the film with all the like additional scenes that are added into the film. And I remember like I didn't watch it like on DVD till like many years later. And when I watched it, I just felt like where are those scenes? Because yeah, I was used to the extra scenes always being in the film. I really just thought like what's going on? Where's like this scene or that scene? So yeah, if you have like seen this film, if you just have this film like on DVD, if you just had it on DVD, like there are like a lot of scenes missing from this that you probably didn't know about. But yeah, for those of you that have actually seen this on TV, you probably do know what I'm saying. Like if you have actually also watched it like on DVD, so yeah, I find that kind of strange. But yeah, in this review, I will like go over some of the deleted scenes because I do know some that are like are removed from like the DVD release for the film. But yeah, it's been like quite a while since I have like actually watched it on TV. So yeah, I don't really like remember like absolutely everything. But yeah, but regardless, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so overall, I mean, I have like praised this film like quite a bit, saying that like everybody does a fine enough job. But yeah, like I said, just it is like kind of cheesy and yeah, just yeah, pretty cheap effects and yeah, it is like more geared to kids. So yeah, so I really don't know what I would say in terms of recommending it. I mean, if you do like Richie Rich, because I do know like Richie Rich's, there was like a Richie Rich cartoon and all that stuff, and of course the Macaulay Culkin film. So if you're a fan of Richie Rich, I guess I would say that this film is worth checking out. But yeah, for all you grown adults, of course, I don't really think that this film really is really meant for you, and I really don't think that there would really be anything worth recommending about this film. So yeah, it really just comes down to if you're like Richie Rich and to what age you are, really. So yeah, so I don't know. I guess I would give this film probably like oh, I don't know. It's hard to really rate this film. I'd probably go around like the 2.5 star range, maybe. I mean, yeah, it's not, I don't think it's terrible, but yeah, it is like kind of like really cheesy and yeah, effects and just, yeah, geared to kids. So yeah, I don't know. I guess for a kid's film, it is just fine, but yeah, yeah, it just is like, just has a lot of setbacks to it too. So yeah, so I would probably like go like around like the 2.5 star range for this film. All right, so yeah, I'm already like 12 minutes into this review, so yeah, let me just get right into the premise of the film. So yeah, so as the film starts off, it shows that on a Christmas day, and when Richie is a baby, like it's his first Christmas, his parents take him outside and they have planted a Christmas tree for him, and then it cuts to like when Richie is like I don't know around probably I'd say around the age of 12, maybe probably a little older than that. Yeah, yeah. As Richie is like spending Christmas Eve with his friends, one of which is played by Michelle Trachtenberg. So yeah, as a kid, I always found it interesting that Michelle Trachtenberg was in this film because, as I told you before, I did watch Harriet the Spy a lot as a kid. So it was, and of course, like Michelle Trachtenberg was the star of Harriet the Spy. So it was interesting to see her in another film. Like, also because yeah, back then, like I really like I wasn't really used to seeing like actors I've seen in like other movies and stuff to really be in like other films. So yeah, I felt that it was interesting to really see Michelle Trachtenberg in this film. Yeah, yeah. But then yeah, and it shows as Richie is racing with his friends and with snowmobiles. Richie's butler Herbert Cadbury is controlling the cars with a remote. Oh, well, that's like known as the super remote, and then he ended up guiding the kids back to Richie's house, and then yeah, and then he just like was telling Richie about the responsibilities is that he has to be executed on the day, and of course, that he had to get ready for a visit from his cousin Richie Rando and his parents, yeah, and so then as he was like trying to get ready. He then like visited his home scientist, Professor Keenbean, in his lab, and Professor Keenbean was showing Richie his recent invention, which was a wishing machine. He knew that he like made from a washing machine, yeah. And then he was telling Richie that it grants wishes, but it only works on Christmas Eve because there's just so much that's the only day when there's enough wishing energy to power up the machine. So then he had Richie like test it out by making a wish, and Richie like made a wish for a big pie. But yeah, the machine ended up like giving him just a pig sty instead. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, King Bean's a machine like wasn't like fully functional yet. It still had some bugs in the system. Yeah, yeah. And then later on that day, as a Richie is met with his cousin Reggie Vando, who yeah, as I said, it was a really spoiled brat. I mean, yeah, he was like making like all the like workers, like the maids and the butlers and stuff, just do stuff for him and just like yelling at them to do it and just say, do it before I get in a really bad mood. Yeah. And then, yeah, Richie ended up like pulling a prank on Reggie by filling a cup of tea with hot sauce, which I thought was kind of funny. Yeah. And then, yeah. And then, like, that day, there were also like plans for Richie and Cadbury to deliver Christmas presents to the orphanage in town. Yeah, Cadbury dressed as Santa and Richie dressed as an elf, and yeah, it was supposed to be controlled with the super remote, but then as Professor Keenbean left it like on a table, Reggie ended up taking it. And yeah, Keenbean couldn't find the remote, and then he told Richie that the sleigh would work on its own, and it would just have to be driven. So then Richie then decided to drive the sleigh himself. Yeah, and then yeah, as a Richie and Cadbury then were starting to head to the orphanage. Then uh yeah, Richie then ended up like taking control of the sleigh with the super remote, and he caused just Richie and just the sled to just go out of control, and just yeah, Richie had like no control, and yeah, the sled just ended up like riding all across town and just was causing a bunch of destruction and even like driving past the orphanage. And yeah, and then eventually then and yeah, the sled ended up um falling down a cliff and stuff. But then Richie and Cadbury were able to jump out before the sled fell. But yeah, then the sled ended up the sled ended up exploding, and then yeah, Richie and Cadbury then tried to head back to town for help, but Cadbury couldn't get back up because he hurt his ankle when he jumped out. Yeah, so then Richie then ran back to town to try to get help, but then when he like came back into the city, and he just yeah, everybody was just like turned against Richie, and yeah, Reggie was just like passing off a bunch of rumors saying that Richie like caused all the destruction on purpose, and everyone was just like saying that Richie ruined Christmas and he was negligent. Yeah, but yeah, and then yeah, then one of the removed scenes from this film was uh Richie's robotic maid Arona like mistook the washing machine for an actual washing machine, and she stuffed some laundry in it. And then yeah, Richie then went back to Professor Keenbean to try to see if Keenbean could help him like get fix things. And so then Richie tried to use the wishing machine to wish for all the presents in the sled back, but yeah, then just yeah, the machine just ended up like bursting out like water and stuff, and so yeah, it didn't work. And then yeah, yeah, but Keenbean said that he would be able to fix the machine, but it would take a while. Yeah. Then as Richie then was starting to wander off, then like he then saw through a camera what looked to be his parents even saying that Richie ruined Christmas also. But yeah, then like when Richie walked off, then his parents revealed that like they were just like questioning how people could really think Richie did that. Yeah. And then yeah, Richie then just sat had in Keenbean's lab, squatting right in front of the wishing machine. And then as Richie was then just fretting over his ill luck about him ruining Christmas. Richie was just saying that he wished that he wasn't rich, and also said that he wishes that he was never born. But then, yeah, then the machine then activated and then granted Richie his wish. And then, yeah, Richie ended up getting sucked into the machine and then was transported to like a whole nother dimension. And then in this dimension, it was showed that now that like he was never born, and it showed that now Reggie has like taken control over the entire town, and he was also like taken over as a, Richie's parents' son, and he sued his own parents. And yeah, it just showed that Reggie was just like an absolute dickhead, and yeah, he was just like bossing everybody around. Yeah, and yeah, and then Richie then like was trying to play with his three friends, but yeah, his friends of course like didn't remember him. Nobody remembered him. I mean, it even showed like at one point, like Arona was now like kind of programmed to kind of like be evil, and yeah, Arona like had fiery breath and stuff. Yeah, and then yeah, Richie eventually then like was trying to explain to his three friends what was going on, but yeah, of course they didn't believe him, just thought he went nuts. Then Richie tried to go back to his home and tried to see if his parents remembered him, which they didn't. But yeah, Richie's a dog. Dollar did recognize him. Yeah. And then Richie ended up taking Dollar away with him. But yeah, Richie was enraged, and then yeah, Reggie then just like ordered police who were working for him and to just hunt Richie down and just put up posters for Richie all around the town. Yeah, and then there were like various attempts by the police to try to catch Richie, but they ended up failing. Yeah, and then eventually, Reggie then just got so furious with the police failing to catch Reggie that he made a demand that they either find Richie and capture him, or Christmas will be canceled. So yeah. And then eventually, Richie was able to track down Cadbury, who was still a part of the band that he was in before he was Richie's family's butler, Root Canal. Well, yeah, and then they were eventually able to track down Professor Keenbean as well, and it showed that Professor Keenbean now ran his own laboratory, and then Richie then was explaining to Keenbean what had happened, and then Professor Keenbean just explained to Richie that like in order to complete his wishing machine, he needs a Pegliosaurus wishing bone for it. So then and then Richie's like three friends then and came back after like hearing Reggie's threat to cancel Christmas, and they just wouldn't support that. So then they just sided with Richie, and then they helped him like retrieve the Pegliosaurus wishing bone from a dinosaur skeleton in a museum. And then it showed that like as they were trying to get the bone, it showed that Reggie's parents are now night guards at that museum. And then they were able to retrieve the bone, and then they were able to make it back to the lab. But before Richie could actually make a wish to wish himself back. Reggie then arrived with the police, and then Richie and the others ended up being arrested, and then Reggie took the machine home for himself, and then when Reggie found out like how the machine worked, then he wished for the ability to fly high, but then before like he could make another wish, like Dollar ended up like sabotaging the machine and just taking the wishbone away, and it didn't work the second time, and then Reggie was just like mad about that. And then there was another sequence where in jail, like they tried to attempt to escape, where Kimi told everybody to take off their socks and rub it against the bars. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I guess it's just part of Keenbean's wackiness. But then Richie and the others then were then bailed out of jail by Root Canal, and then they all then rushed back to Reggie's house, and as they were then putting the machine back together, like Reggie and the police then and like caught them inside, and yeah, then Reggie tried to go after Richie and the others, but they were able to fight Reggie off, and then as Reggie was trying to tell the police he's to arrest all of them, they refused, and yeah, everybody that worked for Reggie just quit for him because they refused to work for someone that would cancel Christmas. Because yeah, uh, Reggie then decided for Christmas to be canceled again, and when like Richie and the others ended up being bailed out, yeah, and then yeah, even like Richie's parents then even more like disciplining Reggie. And then yeah, then Kimi was able to repair the machine, and then Richie then ended up like wishing everything back to normal for him to be Richie again. And then yeah, then he was transported back to his actual dimension. And then yeah, and then showed that like he was like still on the ground, still wearing the elf costume that he was wearing when he made the original wish. Yeah. Yeah. And then yeah, Keen Bean came back into the lab and then just tended to Richie, and then yeah, everybody of course then knew who Richie was again, and then yeah, Richie then reunited with his parents, yeah. And then yeah, then there was like another deleted scene here, which was like that extended ending I was talking about, where then it was on Christmas morning where Richie was giving presents to all of his family, which include his parents, Professor Keen Bean and Cadbury. Yeah, and even also like then after Reggie's parents then found out that Reggie was responsible for the sleigh crash. Then they made Reggie then apologize to Richie for it, and then Richie even like gave Reggie and his parents presents as well. Yeah, and then the film ended just with everyone singing Christmas carols. Yeah, it just showed like Richie with like all his family and friends just going around like the Christmas tree. You playing for his first Christmas, and yeah, they were all singing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas," and yeah, that's how it ended. So yeah, like I said, it is like more geared towards kids. I mean, it is cheesy and the effects are bad. Like I was just saying before, like how Reggie wishes that he could fly. Yeah, the flying effects with him are like really bad and stuff. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, and plus, yeah, it is really like more geared to kids. So yeah, like I said before, like if you are like fans of Richie Rich, like if you did like the Macaulay Culkin movie, and if you did like the Richie Rich cartoon and all that, you might get some enjoyment out of this. But for any grown adults that really did not grow up on Richie Rich, this probably isn't for you. So yeah, it really just comes down to if you are Richie Rich fans or not, if you would like this film. Right, yeah, so like I said, I would give this film like around the 2.5 star range. Yeah, you'll see my final rating for it down in the description. And yeah, and I'll even have the extended ending, the Christmas morning scene down in the description if you want to watch that too. So yeah, all right. So yeah, so I guess that's all I can really say about it. So yeah, so I guess that's also for my review of Richie Rich's Christmas Wish. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.